Hello and what's going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT is here for starting out in week number 8 of the US Speed Tour West and a Halloween themed summon to be featured in the Crew 2 SF Ghost Tour, also known as San Francisco Ghost Tour. Most events and skills takes place in San Francisco, California, and a second time to be featured after the Trip or Treat made its in-game appearance in October 2020. With the Yamaha VMAX made its in-game entrance for the summon, however, it is not made available as a reward to be featured because it's going to be on over to be in the street racing discipline to be purchased for only one motorcycle to be added to your collection. So I'll be dressing up to have a nice fancy outfit to be putting up with a hawk helmet to be known as the Fancy Hawk. This will be my kind of a different Halloween themed costume to be taking part for having a most wonderful night. We'll be going in to be participate. If you're new to my YouTube channel, go and click the subscribe button and leave a like and comment at the section down below, and check out the links on the description if you really want to see more. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the live summit event, and let's begin. For tonight's Halloween bundle event and 20% discount at $369,599 is available at the purchase for only one car. One car is a special variant of the Volkswagen Combi 21 window bus to be labeled as the Ghost Hunt Edition. An obvious reference to Ghostbusters was released alongside the Trip or Treat live summon from last year. It features a design that resemblance of the Eatomobile, but with a lighter design that's similar to the Mystery Machine from the Scooby-Doo animated franchise. A red and white paint job and stickers of a ghost and a phone number to be as a special addition to be part of the street racing discipline. It looks very cool and very paranormal to have a nice good different variant, to have a nice different chassis to be giving a good normal into a lighter version. It is rated to be as 201 out of 280 will be available to be purchased to be in the street racing category. And also for only two cars will be recommended to be part of this event, which is going to be the Proto Offshore Mark 1 2017 and a monster truck edition of the Nissan Skyline GTR R34 will be going in to be as well. One car should be quite good enough, folks, because we're about to be going in and have a nice, wonderful Halloween themed event will be on the way. So be prepared, gang. We're about to go in and take on for having a nice race to be on the special event. And I have finally stopped rank 4,555 place in Back to Hollywood, folks. 1 4 and 3 5s is going to be quite giving a good exact platinum rank to be stopping in by having 4 different rewards. Luckily for the exception to have a Dodge SRT Viper GTS Drag Race Edition has already owned to be having a good added in bonus. If the new players could probably have to get this one, could be quite giving a good usable to be collected. 4 rewards are now checked, and Wealthy Collector is now going in to be at $300,000 to be participate on any events to be in free roam. Right now, it's time to get ready to go on for having a Trip or Treat event in SF Ghost Tour. The Jack-O-Lantern Underglow Epic is going to be quite giving a good time to be on the platinum to be climbing up once again. And let's go in there by having 3 skills and 6 events. But hold on. Looks like this is going to be having a different rooftop reward to be on the street race by using the Combi Ghost Hunt Edition. This one is definitely brand new out there, folks. I'm really going to have to get it because this one is going to be quite very good to be on the Comet, Rare, or the Epic. But anyway, onto the 3 skills will be settled in to be on San Francisco to be on the Solemn. And this time it's about to be going over onto the water-based vehicle by any restriction will be going over by having an auto switch selection. So I really hope I could probably have to go on over to be in the Fisherman's Warp. Yep, this could be the only place. Switch over from the hovercraft. Now it's time to go in onto the powerboat by having a good selected discipline to be giving a good score breaker set. Okay, just checking to see how I could probably have to do it. Switching up the M31 wide body to be going over onto the Mark II offshore. Okay, maybe not. I'm just gonna have to think about something else that might be come up with a better powerboat solution will be giving a best leading advantage by the approach. Alright, 1414 Demon, here I go and take the first attempt. We'll be going in to have a nice, wonderful, clear, sunny day. Gonna have to keep a good steady control. Okay, there you go. Stay on the line by having a good solemn technique. It's getting a little bit closer. Okay. Took a little contact by the parked boat. Slow it down. Bummer. Okay. Now I have to go again for the second attempt. It definitely might be goes a little bit harder sometimes. But I bet I could probably have to do this once again by taking a good different type of boat. It's going to be quite giving a good skill by having a score breaker to be installed. But different categories by any different chassis onto the boat is going to be quite giving a good depends on each type of size. Just going to have to go and slow down and take that point to be on the right side. Going in. Slow and steady by giving a good calming technique. Just like what you've been riding on the no wake zone. Okay, patience time is over. And looks like this is gonna get a stopping point where the tugboat is at. Okay, maybe that was a fisherman's boat. Alright, so that was a-okay. Method number 1 did a pretty good job out there by using the yacht boat. Is going to be quite giving a good slow and steady pace. But now it's going to have to go lighter out there to take on attempt number 2 by the method. Using the Proto Offshore Mark II is going to be quite giving a good capability, so I could probably have to do my best and climb up over to be reached up if I could probably have to get over onto 150,000 points. But moderation and pretty well fast, and also just gonna have to take a shallow waters to be on the rivers is gonna be quite very challenging to be on the fisherman's wharf in San Francisco. Pass by over onto the small boat, going underneath by taking the right turn. There you go. Just gonna have to keep a good slow and maintain the pace. And going in onto the finish line, and there you have it, folks. 27,341 points. Lighter and very excellent. Not bad. Pretty good to be racking up. I added with 2,000 points to be in 544. That should be quite good enough for only skill number 1 to be well checked. On to skill number 2 for having a speed trap in San Francisco. Luckily for only one more, we'll be going a little bit further up north to be on the west coast. Is going to be on Seattle for having an aerobatics. But first things first, gonna have to go over on any different position by the approach. This one might be quite giving a good default, but however, going a little bit downhill before performing it uphill is going to be a little bit necessary. But I bet I could probably have to use the UDRS livery design on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Is going to be quite giving a good main example. We'll be doing a little bit scouting. Okay, there you go. Just gonna have to keep a good position at the start, and goes over by having a rotation. Okay, preview is over. Now it's time to get ready to go in and choose a drag race discipline will be selected by the eligible. Just gonna have to go over onto the filters again, and I'm about to be trying out with a Dodge SRT Viper GTS 2013 Drag Race Edition. But it is also to be having a good different kind of livery to be as a Group 4 category from Gran Turismo Sport. But it belongs to anybody who has that kind of a good exact replica from GT Sport. But it looks pretty cool and very capable to be as a street race discipline to be shared over onto the drag race. Performance is all set and checked after having a quick exchange from the Chevy Corvette C7 Stingray is going to be quite giving a good rearing to go. So I'm about to choose this Viper and get ready to go on for having a good intense quarter-mile run by the hills. Here it comes. And let's go. Oh boy, this is going to be quite giving a little bit jumpy. Well, it was also a first try, but that might end up by 170 miles per hour is going to be giving a stopping point. Well, that was an obvious embarrassing to see this, folks. But it might be quite come up with any kinds of intersection is going to be quite giving a good exact different approach. Seems to me that choosing the long quarter mile by the hills is going to be quite very harder it looks to be, but it gets a little bit jumpy. So I have to go again for the second attempt. Maybe if I could probably have to choose this route by having a good clear space, that would be quite giving a good enough safe point we'll have to go over without having a collision. Just gonna have to burn them up. And let's see how the Viper can handle it. Wow! I cannot believe it! Taking some few jumps and going down the hill, and that means 300.1 miles per hour. That should be quite giving a good exact record set to be stopping at over 90,000 points. So it looks like this is going to be quite giving a good experiment test complete for having a good main straightaway. But obviously, it is definitely might be quite going a little bit harder as it looks to be climbing up by having a good top speed mileage. Gonna have to go for a little slow and pace by hopping around. Okay, looks like this lane is gonna be quite giving a good main run. Alright viewers, this one is gonna be the clear straightaway for having a good clear speed by having a good speed trap to be going over by achieving a new record set. Gonna have to burn them up and wait until the green. Here I go. Awesome! 324.7 miles per hour. Don't get caught and win some speed trap skills by having a daily. Thumbs up complete by having 100,000 points, and it's going to be quite giving a good trip or treat skills is going to be quite giving a good remarkable moment. Time to get ready to fly into Seattle for having an aerobatics onto the skills for the third time. Switching over onto the aircraft is going to be quite giving a good exact view out there to be reached over onto the finish line for the final week of the US Speed Tour West. There's the gate right over there. Gonna have to enter it and match the figures whenever I could probably have to give a good sightseeing onto the cities. There you go. Quick at the time and objective complete. Okay, there's the smoke trail. Ah, man, almost barely had the chance. One more match and go straight up onto this landmark to be at the finish line. Beautiful. 22,706 points. Very good, and flying a good straight line to be in the skies of Seattle. 140,000 points to be added with 784 points. Awesome. Very nice, and 3 skills to be complete. Alright viewers, it's trip or treat time for having 6 events will be on the way. Now, maybe I could probably have to start out for only the first event is going to be quite giving a good racking up to be on 100,000 points. But I know this will be quite giving a first start will be having a rooftop vanity to be going over to be as a street race event to be in the Cascade Scenic Tour. Volkswagen Combi 21 bus to be on the Ghost Hunt edition, and everything is going in for having a nighttime for having a Halloween tradition. Now, this will be quite giving a good made up story tales is going to be quite giving a good racing related. Putting up some performance level to be at 280, and the top speed will be revealed itself to be at 226 miles per hour and a horsepower of 530. So let's use this Ghost Hunt edition of the Volkswagen Combi 21 window bus and get ready to start on the way. Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Now, looks like the Ghost Hunt is about to go on for the race.
I don't know why anyone else is even bothering.
Oh boy, looks like the thunder just here. This will be giving a good, scary, spooky event. First place in the lead, and better make sure if you could probably have to keep a good focusing way to be on the top position to be at 100% to be giving a good, successful podium. Sprint race is going to be quite giving a good special theme event. It's going to be quite giving a good dramatic performance. The Ghost Hunt takes the lead and proceed over onto the checkpoint in 12% at the progression. But it gets a little bit scary out there where the lightning just keeps hearing boom. Also to be as the mist, going for the little uphill will be giving the main opponent if anybody dares to challenge the Ghost Hunt of the Volkswagen Combi is gonna be the most mystery of all the Halloween tales of Motor Nation. Not to worry folks, I'm just gonna have to try to express myself for having a little bit more tale of a Halloween themed event for having a street race. Now where was I? 25% on the progression. And the Ghost Hunt still takes the lead. Inside turns onto the streets and nothing else won't happen because no traffic around, and it's all cleared by having a one simple thing. Pack it up with a boost and passes over onto the checkpoint. As the lightning storm clashes in onto the area while the race continues on. The Ghost Hunt seems to be having a little bit lonely time out there to be in the lead. Will several opponents could probably have to catch up onto each other by having a group cooperation if anything goes, but there will be some kind of a rumors about the ghost of the haunted car. By taking the next checkpoint, the Ghost Hunt continues on in 45% of the progression before the ghosts came in to be appear. But be warned, there might be some fog in the mist is gonna be quite giving a one sightseeing scare. Will the drivers could probably be able to handle it to overcome its fear? And halfway there in 50% in the progression towards 100% to be at the finish line. Passing through the checkpoint and continues on while the lightning clashes and pass on over onto the next route by passing the checkpoint. The lights will be giving the only main spot out there for every 8 drivers, including the Ghost Hunt, is going to be quite giving a little bit spook out there that there will be some ghosts to be as spectators. As the clean race continues for the Ghost Hunt, nothing else happened but a lightning just suddenly appeared in front of it and goes over onto the next turn by the main route. Will the Ghost Hunt driver can actually try to keep it cool before the ghost might become seen by having a little bit jump scare? but it might be quite comes in, or there's some several jack-o'-lanterns has actually to be placed around on every turns by every directions of the arrows. Now arrive at Alborn in the town is going to be a little bit more spooky for everyone to be passed by to be leaving the town. Goes over onto the avenue and proceed over onto the right turn by the direction. Continues on in the progression at 93%. Now it's 94%. Is going to get a little bit nearly there towards the finish line for the ghost hunt. Passes through the checkpoint, and here comes the finish line. Is about to be on the way, and the ghost hunt survives in first place without having a jump scare for having a top 3 finish. And there you have it, folks. I know this is definitely might be quite come up for having a little bit more different kind of a scary story for having a race event is definitely might be quite giving a Halloween theme related. But somehow, people wants to come up something else to have make believe is definitely might be quite giving a little bit fan made for it. But I still have a lot of good talent to make some good fan fiction storylines to have to do it on my own. First trick or treat event down, only 5 more to go. Now it's time to get ready to go on over to take on the Giants for the Alpha Grand Prix discipline. And let's get ready to roll for having a good time and race on over to be in the circuit. Clearly, the nighttime is going to be quite giving a good different effect to be on the Halloween theme style. So let's go in for having a different kind of a tale for having a Halloween race event to be in the Alpha Grand Prix. Now, for the selection, if I could probably have to choose a nice vehicle, we'll be going in to be on the track. But how about the KTM Expo R UDRS InSportTech Racing Sport to be as an Alpha Grand Prix edition? But this will be quite giving a good same variant, just like the street racing version and a 2012 model. But I hope I could probably have to get started out to be in last place for having a good competition to be on the way.
3, 2,
Let's do this, folks.
1.
Another Halloween Racing Tales will be on the way.
I'm sending happy winning thoughts.
One night at the Giants racetrack, a single UDRS racer takes on 3 opponents in the first lap. However, the driver feels excited about to be in first place to be in the lead. By passing the first sector clear before moving on into sector 2, the UDRS driver is using the KTM Expo R in the Alpha Grand Prix edition is going to be quite very good to be challenging with some other Alpha Grand Prix racer. But however, feel excitement out there for the single driver is about to be coming in towards the final turn at the end of lap number 1. But the 3 drivers didn't hear a word because lap number 2 is about to go on for having a handling of a chilling curse. The UDRS driver didn't notice that the handling is going to be having a little bit trouble issue out there. Will he be able to survive this race without any fail effect? But he could probably have to try to keep his cool out there when racing on the Giants is going to get a little bit foggy out there. But the lights were still on, and now passes in on to sector 3 by taking the final turn once again. The UDRS driver is finishing up lap number 2 before moving on into lap number 3. The handling is still takes a lot of good response movement out there to be mastered on every corners in the Giant circuit is going to be quite giving a good exact matching replica to be similar to be as Willow Springs International Raceway. But it might be quite turns out to be quite giving an obvious solution. He could probably have to master this track without fail, but whenever happens by having a nitro to be unleashed to be used, it's about to go for a little hard dive in. The KTM Expo R controlled itself, but the driver didn't notice because moving on to take the final lap is going to be quite very challenging for a single UTRS driver. Tries to overcome its fear without using this vehicle is going to be quite very harder to control it. But it might be the Ghost was actually doing this. The UTRS driver just barely almost had that good perfection. It could be quite very harder to see that the Ghost driver was actually not the UTRS driver, was using the steering wheel, but it could be the passenger was doing all of it to be as the Ghost. Now passes in onto the final stretch after the final corner, and the finish line just finally comes in to be at the perfect arrival. At the end, the UTRS driver didn't notice a thing. This will be the only exact record to be climbing up to be at 118,000 points to be added with 45. But this will be the end of the second Halloween Racing Tales. So what do you guys think? I know I'm just gonna have to try to come up with something to have a very different kind of talent. It's gonna be quite giving a good exact differences to be using with any kinds of Alpha Grand Prix race cars. Very good to have a nice KTM Expo R to be taking on in the Giants is gonna be quite turns out to become brilliant and awesome to have a nice different kind of tails to be made of. 2 events down, only 4 more to go by the remaining. Will be proceed over on to the next event. But however, it doesn't show on to the wiki of fandom is definitely to be labeled as to be announced. Let's see which touring car is going to be as the mystery event. There is stage number 8 of the US Speed Tour West will be reached over onto the finish line is going to be at Seattle. And let's see for the street race discipline. San Francisco Special. There you go. Looks like that should be quite giving a good list to be titled in to be updated. Only in the fandom, of course, because the event is going to be quite giving a good, well featured. Now on to the powerboat to be at Pacific Coast on to the Every Song event for using the Proto Offshore Mark 1 will be ready to go by the restrictions. So I bet that could be quite giving a good time moment out there to be on the waters in Pacific to be in the West Coast. How excited out there that I just really love this event back in the full walkthrough. Pretty basic and challenging to be going over to be on the waves. We'll have to go in by overcome it. So let's use it and get ready to go in by participate to be at the starting grid. So let's do this.
2,
The next tale is
1.
going to be a sailing curse.
You got this. You're a rock star.
In the midst of the powerboat event, one driver takes the lead and passes over by 7 opponents, and no one else didn't suspect a thing. After passing through onto the checkpoint, things are about to get a little bit foggy out there to be in the West Coast Pacific Ocean. After getting through, sailing up onto the figure 8 circuit to be on the waters is going to be a little bit one thing to do. Try to keep up and survive from the dreaded curse of the Ocean 8. The offshore Mark 1 driver took the lead by passing over onto the first checkpoint. Until at the end of lap number 1, the final lap is about to get a little bit chilling whenever it goes on to be set sail alone. No one else didn't overtake. No one else didn't suspect the thing to be going over to be far left alone to be in the ocean. The checkpoint passes clear and goes right back to be in the same position by taking the left turn. Another checkpoint to be cleared and several opponents are trying to stay together to survive. Until 88% on the progression, 10% to go will be remaining to be going over to be on the waters. And here comes the final stretch, will be coming in to be signaled out. since 8 drivers survived the Figure 8 water circuit, and that should be the only way that we've been survived about to get through this. The curse has been finally lifted by 100,000 points to be well earned achieved. Nothing else to be scared. Just gonna have to go fast and overcome its fears to be well achieved, to be in the 2-lap circuit, to be in the West Coast Pacific Ocean on the Every Song event. And that's it for the end of the 3rd event. Before taking on for the next event is going to be a little bit much mixed event to be going over onto the monster truck discipline to be participate in the Gates of Chinatown. That should be quite giving a good excited monster truck race to be participate to be in the street race event, folks. And I hope I got a very good special kind of variation to have some vanity for the Nissan Skyline GTR model R34 B-Spec will be going in to be at the ready. Just gonna have to sit back and wait and until the images will be giving a good different kind of variant we'll be putting up from the street race version. And there it is, folks. I have created the monster truck Skyline GTR is now ready to go to be at the 140 performance level. We'll be going faster to take on with the monster trucks to be in the type of a one-make category. Very good to have some nice tail molten tire to be quite giving a good set of affinity to have a nice wonderful monster truck to be well born to drive. Let's do this and get ready to feel the shock.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, let's go.
You're so gonna win this one.
The monster truck is alive. It's alive. The Skyline is alive, viewers. Now this is a pretty good, awesome monster truck to be going in to be in the lead. How awesome how I could create this different kind of Halloween style for the monster truck Skyline could probably have a lot of good skills to be going in by the road, and the off-road areas is going to be quite going in for the extreme. Gotta have to stay focused and pass us on over to the next checkpoint. Keep going. Looks like this is going to be quite giving a nighttime racing in San Francisco for the monster trucks is going to be quite going challenging by the handling. But I know this might be quite giving a good different kind of Halloween style variant for every kinds of monster truck vehicles. But I'm always choosing this Nissan Skyline is going to be quite good to be participate in a Halloween themed summit. Lap number 1 clear. And the Franken Skyline GTR is now going in to be in the current position at the 2nd lap. Taking some few jumps. Everything is all clear and calm. Now gonna have to smash on over to the next checkpoint before taking the main shortcut is gonna be the only main advantage. Alright, smashing around and keep pacing up by using the nitro. Okay, several trick-or-treaters are definitely walking around onto the sidewalks at night. They just really love to see some monster trucks racing around in SF. Almost there. The final lap is about to get a little bit nearly there towards the end, folks. Final stretch is on the way, and this will be quite giving a good dragon skate to be used as the finish line. 45,000 bucks earned, and this is going to be quite giving a good best monster truck event for the Nissan Skyline to have a different kind of vanity to be having a good different kind of monster to be well created to be as a natural beast. Event number 4 is clear, and 2 more to go for having a special, and stage number 8 of the US Speed Tour West will be now reveal itself, will be participate to be starting out to begin. Street race discipline, you got it. That would be quite giving. A Frisco will be stopping in for a special. How awesome to see how different kinds of Halloween themed genres tales is going to be quite good to be come up with. I also tried to come up with some different kinds of tales of my own. We'll be doing much unspecific or specific ways to see how things will might be quite coming handy for a different kind of talent whenever it comes in for having a full segment to be in the full walkthrough onto the live summit. So let's choose a different ride whenever I have to be selected. Alright. Gonna have to choose by having a good high rarity pick by having a 280 performance level. Okay. Maybe on the other hand, I could probably have to go with the FC. That should be quite giving a good select to pick. Alright, Mazda RX-7 Turbo 10 Anniversary. Here I go, and I'm about to choose you. Racing on Frisco, we'll be ready to go in for the FC. We'll be starting out to have a nice track to be selected.
2,
Let's do this.
1.
It's a go for US Speed Tour West Special number 8, San Francisco, California. Cars speeding through the Golden Gate City, America's oldest and largest Chinatown.
Alright, very good for having a nice pick for the FC to take on San Francisco for having a good special in the US Speed Tour West. It comes in to take the effect in nighttime, but the Halloween is going to be quite giving a good trip or treat moment out there. Will be selected your favorite cars by any good places to be explored while you can. Gonna have to go faster and take that left turn to be pulled to brake. Very nice. So what do you guys think about my own design of the FC RX-7? Looks pretty cool, and giving a good exact mixtures of a parody title to be representing to be as the White Comet of Akagi. But for this FC to be putting up with a turbocharge is going to be quite giving a good ways to have a nice good effect stunt jump to be on the way, and there it goes. How awesome to take that wonderful stunt jump is going to be quite going brilliant. But 38% on the progression is going to go a little bit further out there in the first lap. Gonna have to keep going faster to take that good streets to be in SF Avenue. There you go. Hold that braking point. Now lap number 2 is about to go on for the final lap. I just tried out and took a test run on Miami Harbor back then because it was actually quite giving a good retro JDM car. It's going to be quite going awesome out there to have some nice Japanese car to be racing around in the harbor of Miami. Clearly, 3 laps is going to be quite giving a good remarkable spot for doing a special. If I could probably have to be participate in the US Speed Tour East for having an encore presentation. But still, this one is very original, like the FD RX-7 was going to be quite good to be as a street race and drift discipline. But good thing that you guys have already got your own FC RX-7 is going to be quite giving a good different exact matching replicas from the anime, and also to have a different kind of a FC RX-7 from Wagon Midnight is going to be quite giving a good different kind of tuner spec models to be putting up with some exterior parts. For my kind, this FC gives a very different kind of icon of the White Comet of the Motor Nation in the United States of America. %8 to go on the progression to be climbing up, 10% to go on the remaining. Gonna have to go faster and take a lot of good handling by having a good handling power slide.
Coming up to the arrival line soon now, which driver will master the record?
Alright, there you go. Finish line is going to be well complete. 3 minutes and 34.54 seconds. Now that's a very good average job performance out there to be climbing up onto 100,000 points. Good job for the FC and good job to take on the special in San Francisco. One more event to go, and here comes the final destination. We'll be on the way for the touring car discipline to be reached over by having a finish line to be at Seattle. This is it, you guys. Only one more trip or treat event to go. Seattle takes on, we'll be going in on to the finish line. We'll be starting out to continue on from San Francisco. Choose your best touring car vehicle. Buy any car and bike whenever you like to be determined to be selected. Alright, now let's see. Going with the Mercedes-Benz 300 SRR Elantrant Coupe, Chevrolet Corvette C6R, or maybe the Corvette C3 Touring Car Edition. Anyway, C6R Corvette it is. Alright, here I go, and let's get ready to take on the final push in stage number 8 of the US Speed Tour West. We'll be reached over onto the final destination in the finish line at Seattle, Washington. We'll be leaving from San Francisco, California. Let's do this. Let's get ready to go on and take a lot of good speed and master on any corners by the route.
US Speed Tour West's final part, stage number 8. Which driver will be the best from San Francisco, California, up to Seattle, Washington?
For all the best moments out there will come to an end. We're about to be ready to go up the north whenever we have to go faster by the limit. Take a lot of good concentration on every corners by using the apexes by passing through the checkpoints. Okay, looks like we're about to be going in for having a good boost by taking a quarter-mile run. Wait until the nitro refill by using the nitro chemist. There you go. Proceed over on to the North Pacific Ocean. Keep going at it. Have a nice, good, clean, perfection turn. And then we're about to be going in onto the forest by having a foggy theme Halloween style. We'll be going in to continue on by the main route. Here it goes. Gonna have to take the uphill. Checkpoint clear. Putting up the nitro is raring to go. Slow it down. And then here comes the downhill. Okay, looks like things are going a little bit concentrating for any corners. It's going to be quite taking a best moment. Checkpoint clear. Now going to have to aim the apexes. Boost it up. There you go. Right on the line. Almost there to be at 44%. Moving on in 45% in the progression, folks. Very nice. Now gonna have to pull the brake early and go right in onto the left turn to be used the apex at the inside. Halfway there towards Seattle, folks. Gonna have to go over to pass through onto Oregon. This will be one of the West Coast regions of the United States of America before moving on to be in Washington to be going over onto Seattle. But I hope this is going to be quite giving a good view out there to be on the forest because the Halloween themed background during the live summon is going to be well featured. Almost to be at 70% to be getting closer. Gonna have to boost it up. Going a little bit much further out there to be using onto the main road. 75% will be stopping in, only 25 to go. That should be quite giving a good curved straightaway to be going over onto the avenue roads. 20% to go. Keep it up. This will be giving a good, brilliant, remarkable run out there for taking on for the final stage in the time attack event. And here it is, folks. We have arrived. Seattle, Washington. We're almost there to be in the finish line. Gotta make sure to save it for the last. Boost them up one more time. There's downtown, going in onto the Pioneer
Final
Square.
leg of the final stage. Watch the drivers go for it. If they can't make it here, they can't make it anywhere.
Yes, finally made it. I have finally made it to the final push of the US Speed Tour West in stage number 8. Incredible. Excitement and incredible to push it to the limit. Good thing for my Corvette C6R is going to be the only perfect spot out there to be featured in the SF Ghost Tour. Finally, looks like all the events are finally complete, and that means for only 2 of them is going to get nearly there towards 100,000 points. But it's okay, because the ranked 3,000 place is going to be my stopping point out there, viewers. But they will be having some different updates will be changing in on every hour during the event until November 3rd. So I hope this video will be featured in October 31st, which is going to be on Halloween. But I have something else might come up with a better idea to have 2 types edition to be used in the same video. One for the color and one for the black and white. So I hope you guys did a wonderful good time out there to be participate on 3 skills with some 4 events to be come up with my very own Halloween racing tales, and especially for the special and stage number 8 of the US Speed Tour West is going to be quite filled out by having a green check mark to be well done and complete. Moving on to the next event is going to be last will be reached over onto the end. It's going to be the Chosen. There will be some continued players and some new players will be listed in for having some 4 different rewards, including a Ferrari F12 FTF will be featured into the Platinum, along with a gold to be having a Pink Storm Smoke to be as an Epic Vanity. There will be some different kinds of events will be featured by any disciplines will be listed in to be settled in will be going on to have a nice different types will be well chosen to see it. And also for the next event is going to be later on in November 10th to 17th is going to be Balasia, which is going to be the brand new season will be coming in for the next update later on. So we have to make sure if we could probably have to be looking forward for any more events will be reached over at the end of the season before moving on to take the new season by having new set of events will be going over by having a different theme cover. So I hope you guys did a pretty good job out there for having a nice Halloween themed event in San Francisco Ghost Tour. Thank you for tuning in to my video, folks. I hope you really enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads to be turned on, and the links on the description down below if you really want to see more. You can check it out on Instagram, DeviantArt, GT Planet, and other social media platforms if you really want to follow me. And don't forget to support my main project, Vision Total Drama, the next chapter of the Total Drama fan art to support the community. I'll be see you guys next time for continue on in the live summit event in the Crew 2, and I will see you later in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean, and happy Halloween!